Hey guys, this is Orsi and this is going to be my experience with the Dungeons and Dragon decks for 1 month. If you're subscribed to my channel, first of all, thank you. But then you might know that I had a plan, to use a deck every month. So 12 decks for 12 months to study, to get to know better. And I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to keep with the schedule, but here we are. It's already July, and I'm talking about my June deck. So far, half of the year is done, which is also ridiculous. And I kept with the practice, which is really good because life is quite hectic for a while now. It's just a lot of changes, and normally I would do a lot of readings, but these days I'm only doing these one card pulls in the morning, getting to know the deck. But I'm glad I'm doing that because at least I'm not doing nothing. At least I'm still doing something. So this is the box. I still absolutely hate how short this one is. And the way that it opens, it's fun. I like the outside, the artwork, but I would very much appreciate a smaller box, just the size of the deck, the usual drill. I think that would be enough. So, but the biggest complaint that I had about the deck was solved already. So I'm not, it's just nitpicking, because if you're familiar with this deck, you know that there was a first printing of a first edition where the minors were not displayed or written out on the card, so it was just 7 and then nothing, so you couldn't really distinguish which 7 it was, because there was nothing indicating the minor suit, not even the little symbol here or colors or the borders. There was just nothing. So they changed that, which I think is really cool, because they were listening. The deck has a more unified look by now. I mean, I could have pulled out the other deck. I should have done that, but there were different borders. Not all the cards had this layout, so it was fun. But I very much appreciate the more unified look, and I absolutely appreciate that we have the titles of the minor suits, because honestly there is quite a deviation from the original system and the card meanings in some cards. So sometimes it's not that obvious that what the card was supposed to be. 3 of charisma is, I think the charisma is the sword, just by looking at it, but this is an interesting one. It doesn't necessarily give you the 3 of swords feeling. And that was one of the things, like intelligence, that I really appreciated with this deck before even starting to work with the cards, that it has its own system, which you get in the guidebook, as in that the traditional suits are, wands, swords, cups, and pentacles are replaced with strength, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. But it's not a one-on-one replacement. So it's not like, oh, I have wands, so if I see strength, I'm gonna think about what I know about the wands. It's actually really pulling in the D&D system, or the word, I would say, because I'm more familiar with just the word in general, because I didn't play the game, but I read the books. It should be a t-shirt. I didn't see the movie, but I read the book. That's a more bitchy one. But like strength, we have, it's, wands are also about, the way that I read them anyway, health and the physical body. But this strength suit, it's about your physical abilities and what you can do, your 3D environment, what you do in the world that you're currently in, the setting that you have. So it's more about that than just health, for example. We have the creativity and the inner reserve and the heart, which is interesting. And it says, like these cards show seekers that they need to take action and focus on their inner strength to bring about change in the world, which I find it very interesting. So, you have that for all the suits, all the minor suits. Sorry, I had to deal with my cat, so I forgot where I was, but I know that I was talking about the minor suits. But yeah, so one of the things that I liked, that it wasn't a one-on-one replacement. And what I realized when working with this deck, while working with this deck, is that I like it more if I'm just looking at this system as something different, and not try to fight with the meanings, as in going back and thinking about what I know the card should mean, like the textbook meaning. And instead of just be like, okay, we have don't give me majors, I don't care. The 8 of Charisma. And I'm not gonna start thinking about, okay, wait, which one was Charisma? Oh, Charisma is this, and then like Charisma is Pentacles even. So I was wrong with the 3 of Charisma. It's 3 of Pentacles, not 3 of Swords. But that's why I'm saying that you can try to rely on the image to find the usual meaning, but they are misleading if you do that, which some people might say it's a bad thing, because you have to learn with this deck. But I really do, I don't know, I just enjoy the challenge, I guess, or as much as I have time. But 8 of Charisma is the 8 of Pentacles, which is, yeah, you have to work on things. But I just wanted to see what it says. It's not always different from the original meaning. There are a lot of cards, especially majors, obviously, which are the same. But where is it? 8 of Charisma is paying attention to doing the simple things well. Slow and steady wins the race. So usually with the 8 of Pentacles, we get that you're in that phase when things are repetitive and you have to master something and you have to keep doing it, because otherwise, if you stop doing something right now, you're not going to reach the end, which is much closer to you than you think. But with this one, is much more about not one action that needs to be perfected, but finding ways to do the small things better, which is a difference, and I kind of enjoy it. It's it still can be looked at it as the usual 8 of Pentacles meaning, which is good, because it's always nice to pull in multiple layered things. But I just enjoy the differences with the original one. Like, look, I think that's the intelligence than the 3 of Swords, but I'm not entirely sure now, because I didn't have enough time to learn everything. The 1 month wasn't good enough for that. But I'm just checking. Intelligence is, yes, Source. But it was good enough for me to see that I want to work with it in that sense. I want to learn a different system for it. If it's, like a modified system for it, I would rather say. I like this one as well. And just allow the cards to tell me an extra meaning that comes from those stories that I read. Like what sort of a, like emperor do I know dwarves are? Because I think that's a very, very, very good emperor, by the way. So for me, who loves fantasy, who reads fantasy, this deck was really good, as in connecting with those meanings and pulling the fantasy world that I love and adore so much. And I just know about it a lot. And I don't mean it that I know about, like different books and I know the specifics of certain words, but just in general, I lived in these fantasy words in my head ever since I started reading, which is like not in school, but, when I started reading my father's books. That's what I'm gonna say, around 9, I think. That's when I started to read the fantasy section in our bookshelf. and I just loved it ever since. Like, for an ace, this is not something that you would see, like, you know, a figure who is half tree and they're like animals morphing out or into it. You know, it's a connection, it's like a word tree or something like that, which I really enjoy. So yes, I after a month, I'm not gonna say that I know everything about this deck, because obviously I didn't, and I didn't really had time to play with it more outside these one card pools in the morning, which is obviously, I know as well that it's not enough, but it was enough for me to learn that I want to work with this deck still. I absolutely enjoy it. It reads very well for me. The messages that I got were clear, but they also made me think. So it wasn't just like, oh, okay, you know, check, I know what it means. It was always something that made me think about a different aspect of the card because of how differently the cards are illustrated in some cases, and I absolutely love lovers like this. I think it's a very, very good lovers as well. So yeah, I'm gonna work with it later for sure. I'm not gonna put it too far away because, let's be honest, this is my fantasy. Like, look at that, for charisma with dragon. It's my fantasy deck, and I kind of think I don't even need another one. I was very dead set on other decks from, I'm not gonna say fantasy section of tarot because I don't think there is one, but you know, just in general, I was planning on getting a few other decks, but I just don't think I need one because this has, you know, it's a gateway to all the books that I've read, and I really enjoy that. So no oracle pairings this month because I simply didn't use any oracle. Like I said, I was really busy. I'm gonna make time at some point soon and post an actual update about what I was up to in the past year and a half, I think, when I stopped doing the monthly videos. I'm gonna tell why. I'm gonna just talk about in general what happened, but I'm still in the middle of things, so I'm not gonna wait until it's over because who knows when it's gonna happen. But I just need to, you know, find time because my current work schedule is really all over the place. So it's not as easy to just pull out a deck and talk about it because it usually happens in the middle of the night when I have time. Like, okay, not middle of the night, but in the evening when it's dark already. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to explain why I'm more absent in the YouTube realm of things. But okay, I think this was it for this deck. There's definitely gonna be a later update when I have, you know, time, like maybe a year from now or even two, when I have more time to work with it in the longer run. So if you like that deck, I like that idea, please subscribe and, you know, maybe we will see each other. I love this devil. In those videos as well. But anyway, in any case, please tell me what's your experience with this deck if you have it. Why did you get it? Because I'm always interested to know, you know, was it the artwork, was it fantasy, was it D&D? Yeah, I'm already just speaking immediately, so I should finish the video. But it's very, very hard not to, you know, just look at the images. That's also something with this deck, is that, you know, it's hard to stop staring at the artwork. But I'm gonna leave the first right here, which is the Four of Wands, the different Four of Wands. Okay, so yeah, this was my monthly experience with it. Hope this was useful. I really do hope this was useful. I wouldn't suggest this deck to someone who likes the original system, or I would recommend it to a newbie who isn't. No, I'm not gonna say that. Who is, you know, a fan of fantasy, because it's a good way to learn a deck. If you don't buy multiple decks all at once, especially not Rider-Waite-Smith decks, then it's a good deck to have. So, you know, if you're starting out and you're looking for just one deck to learn, I think it's great for that, because after, if you know, you learned it and you want something else, you can just move on. But if you're trying to learn this deck alongside other decks, then I don't think it's a good one, because you really, if you want the full experience, I feel like you need to dedicate enough time for this one. And yeah, the tactile experience, the cardstock, which is, it feels linen-y. I'm not entirely sure if it's actual linen, but it looks like and feels like, and it's just great. It shuffles really nicely. So yeah, this is all, like I said 100 times when I started finishing this video. Hope this was useful. Please like, comment down below, share this video, because those all help my channel. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers, and for some reason I would like to reach it. So if you can, please consider, really do consider subscribing, because it would be fun. But if not, you know, it's okay. I'm just glad you were here, and I hope, you know, this was useful and you enjoyed it. So see you in the next one. Bye.